Flory Models daily vlog here on Wednesday the 18th of November 2015. Been pushing on really hard, to be honest, with the Helix, which has just had a lovely coat of the old Stynel res over it. Do love that stuff. One little tip for you whilst I think about it. Grab the bottle. Stynel res by its nature, he says, quickly putting the lids on, has an Achilles heel, as I found. Now, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago when we were doing other bits and pieces, but I found it thickens up. Now, if you come in with this stuff and you put something like a lacquer thinners, shall we say, things like that on there, certainly something like the self-leveling thinners, it will literally thicken up and go like glue. So don't try and thin it with anything hot, okay? So with this one, IPA, isopropyl alcohol, I've got some 98% stuff back there, big bottle of it, a couple of drops, I was probably around about, I don't know, a third of the way into this one, and I put in there probably around about 10 mil, I should think, sort of 8 to 10 mil of IPA, giving it a good shake, and it's absolutely lovely. And it's thinned it out, and it's just like it was when it was new, and we've used it down on here. But otherwise, what I'm finding it is, over time, it's getting thicker. For you guys who've got the jumbo bottles of it, I can imagine, you know, a couple of months down the line, it's going to be really thick. So thin it with IPA, and you'll be absolutely fine. You could thin it with other things, as I know, all the acrylic stuff tends to work well, but IPA, I find, works really well. Gives a very nice, and it still keeps it that sort of self-leveling thing as we go right the way through. We've used it on this one, we've really pushed on with this one. You've now got part 3 of this is up on the site. Part 3 really covers the actual seam checking, which is something I haven't shown in depth before, and it's basically showing you when we use black. So obviously I use black around cockpits and that to do that sort of internal look, and then I always go off and do areas. Now, as we know, I had real problems with the tail of this because, quite frankly, I stuck it on upside down, so consequently it was a case of plenty of seam checking down there. So by seam checking, it's basically spray it all black and then you rub it down very lightly on top to see if you've got an area of black still remaining. If you have, then obviously you need to do something about it. And in our little video that we show on this one, obviously we did all around the spine work. We showed about how to get into tight little tiny areas using things like skinny sticks, skinny polishers, all those types of things, and basically going around and making sure everything is fine before you even get to the primer stage. The primer stage, as you put it down like here, you're basically looking over it and saying, right, okay, well, I can't see any other lumps, bumps and joins or glue marks, fingerprints. So when you come in with the paint coat next, it should be absolutely fine and you have no problems with it at all. As you can see, it's a great looking aircraft. I must admit, it's one of those ones I saw, the box art, I don't think particularly does it justice, but you know, now we're in a situation where we've got it down like this, you look at it and think, yeah, quite a cute little aircraft, but it's not little. This thing's a lump. It's quite a big helicopter, okay, by its scale. But because it looks like it's been hacked off at the back and there's half of it missing, you know, you forget how actually big it is. Generally though, few fit issues with this one. It's gone together well now, no problem with it all. And then what we're going to do is obviously going to pre-shade this shortly, and then we're going to get in and obviously going to run around it and take care of, you know, weathering it, painting it, and all the different bits and pieces. We're going to use all our sort of armor techniques with this one, we said before, so we're going to be doing a lot of sanding. So we're actually going to sand the paintwork to wear through it, obviously chipping effects, and then obviously staining, streaking, all those good things that we can do with this one. So as I said, it's basically armor painting on an aircraft, but as I said, Stynel res, I love that stuff, beautiful finish on it. Today, to be honest, we've had quite a few deliveries come in, so obviously we're getting ready for the Star Wars theme. I know I keep going on about it, but I'm quite excited. Not to mention Battlefront comes out tonight. So what do we got? We've got loads down here. I haven't chosen these before because we've got the reviews coming up on Friday, but the new Bandai Millennium Falcon, we've got that one here. Let's go through some of these. We've got C-3PO coming up on a review. We've got the new X-Wing. Okay, and we said about it on last week's review, but we've actually got Slave 1 as well there. So, you know, we've got those great things coming up. We've also got something which I thought we'd have a look at, which are these guys. Don't be put off. That's all I'm going to say, all right? Because I've had a sneaky look in there, and I think we can do great things with that. And also, because you can never have enough TIE fighters, this is the Jumbo 1/35th scale version this time, and it is a monster. Again, don't be put off by its simplicity. If you're a bit like me and you love basically painting and weathering, that's the bit you really get into. These are great kits because they fall together, they go together really quickly, and then you can repaint them. Going to have a look at those over the next couple of weeks before we get into Star Wars, and obviously during Star Wars month we're going to do a load more reviews and things like that, all the different bits and pieces coming out. We've also got in, for all you guys who hate Star Wars, both of you, we've actually got the Meng 1/35 scale Whippet. Okay, this is the Mark A version. So we've got a review of that coming up on Friday. And then we've got this guy as well, which is the Panther. As I said, it's one of these aircraft, it was never around in 1/48. Well, all right, it was, wasn't it? The Testers did one. Not particularly nice. So we thought we'd have a look at this one because I have a theory next year for doing something with a particular US Navy squadron and the different aircraft they've flown, and this is going to fit my bill for this one. But generally, being a sort of, you know, the Navy's classic jets, things like that, I love these kits, so we'll be looking at that one as well. Probably won't be up this week, but next week we'll have the kit review of that one. Must say, apologies for the actual Q&A being a bit late last night. If you've watched the video, you'll say, we were recording at half 11, so why didn't it go up to 11 o'clock at night? That's because I left a few swear words in there at the beginning when I was having trouble getting my words out, shall we say. When I do the opening thing and you hear me and I say, you know, hello, welcome to Flory Models Q&A Tuesday, I just couldn't get it right. And after like the 10th attempt, 20th attempt, I started to lose my rag a little bit and said a few naughty words. Edited it, put it up, and forgot to take them out at the beginning. Not so much a good one. So unfortunately, just before it went live, I was just about to make it live everywhere at 6 o'clock. I had to actually delete that bit, re-edit it, re-render it, re-upload it, and then obviously YouTube sits on it for a couple of hours whilst they chew it into their format before I could release it. So apologies, it was a little bit late last night, but couldn't have naughty words on there. Put it this way, it might make the outtake show once I put the bleeps in. Alright, so there we go, that is about it. There's a couple of other bits over there we're going to talk about obviously next week, so we'll be getting into those. But in the meantime, as I said, you've got part 3 of the Helix, that's up on the site now, so you can get going and watch that one. And then on Friday, obviously I'm going to be back with you, and we're going to have some good reviews. So we're going to have a couple of the Bandai ones, and we're going to have the Whippet up there as well from the Meng. The reason I say that is because I'm not here tomorrow. Having tomorrow off, having a day off, and everything else like that, off to see our godchild and things in Bridgewater, so looking forward to that one. So I'm actually having a day off, and then I'll be working over the weekend. So that's it from me, and I'll catch you all on Friday.